Hi guys, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. Last episode we finished up our origin story and got to Ostagar with our human noble female Eurydice. And now we're going to kind of investigate Ostagar and meet Alistair and get ready to go to the wilds. Generally like to start by going this way, just kind of cleaning up some of this stuff.
All right.
Elf fruits, sacks and stuff down there. Okay. Ah, a bone gift for our dog.
Yes.
Now, if you're not a rogue, obviously you won't be able to unlock a lot of these chests around here. Vanilla Davith can unlock some of the chests in Ostagar, but not all of them. I don't think he can unlock this one, and I think there's one in the upper area he can't, but some of the others he can, so it's just something to kind of try once you actually get him, if you're not a rogue.
Huh.
Go ahead and talk to this guy real quick.
The Tower of Ishal is off limits. The men stationed inside are securing it now.
What's the Tower of Ishal?
I think they used it once to watch for wilders coming out of the forest.
Why is the tower off limits?
By orders of Tairn Loghain. The tower is being secured by his men to be used during battle. I'm told they discovered some lower chambers, and they don't know how far down they go, so for now, everyone's to stay out.
Lower chambers?
I didn't see anything like that when I was there, but who knows?
Yeah, that's not good. It's a pretty large ruin.
Goes back to the time of the Tevinter Imperium. Dwarven make. That's probably why it's still standing.
I should go.
Make us speed your steps.
It's just a little additional information. You find out about those lower chambers, which are obviously the way the Darkspawn are getting in and stuff, so... It's a cool ruin, a lot of cool statues and things. Yeah, that statue has bad memories.
Hail, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought.
Hello.
This place hasn't seen such bustle in centuries, I'll wager. Need a hand getting anywhere?
Sure. Where's Duncan's tent?
Not far. It's straight ahead, just past the royal encampment. Most of your fellas are in the valley with the army, but the recruits seem to be staying up here for now.
Looking for a Grey Warden named Alistair.
Try heading north. I think he was sent with a message to the mages.
Tell me about Ostagar.
Used to be a fortress long time ago, so I understand. Back in the days when the Wilders used to invade the lowlands. You were just on the eastern side of the ruin. The Tower of Ishal is there, but Tairn Loghain's closed it off until the battle. This side is the King's camp. We've got the Grey Wardens here, the Circle of Magi, the Chantry. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody important.
Is there anywhere to get supplies?
Quartermaster, he's just a bit to the northwest.
Where's the king?
Probably in his tent. He and Tairn Loghain are on the southwest side of the camp. The king likes to spend time with his soldiers, though. Sometimes even without his bodyguard. Drives Tairn Loghain wild, that does.
Circle of Magi is here?
A few mages, yes. They even brought those creepy quiet fellows, the Tranquil. Gives me the shivers when they talk, all cold and even. They're to the north of here, bunched up with a herd of Templars glaring at them. Can't miss it.
Do I hear dogs?
This is Ferelden, isn't it? The king has his kennels on the west side of camp. Stinks from all the hounds. These aren't cute puppies, though. Some of those dogs bite the darkspawn and get too much of that blood in them. It's like poison. Slow, painful death. Terrible. Go on, then.
I think that's it. I'll be on my way.
Good luck to you, then.
Okay, so I tend to start this way. I usually get Alistair pretty quickly. That way I can take him around with me, because there's some quests where you can get some approval from him and he'll have like interactions in some of them. There is another thing though. So I have these tomes that came with the Bioware promo stuff. I think I'm going to go ahead and use them. And this one gives me a skill. So the fun thing is, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and give myself an extra cunning. I'm going to go ahead and pop one into strength, since they're kind of like free attributes essentially. You basically really only need to go up to, I believe it's 16 strength, because you'll pick up 4 in the fade, so you don't want to waste any of them. I think I'll pop another one into constitution too, just to kind of even me out a little. Okay, so I know we need this to kind of get our next skill, but when we level up again, we'll get a free skill, so we can get it then. But if I take the stealing skill now, which everyone should take at least 1 level in stealing, because there's a quest line in Denerim where you need it, and it's a pretty cool quest line. It actually continues over in Awakening if you finish it. But if you steal here in camp and you get caught, shall we say, people confront Duncan and then he talks to you about it, and it's pretty hilarious. So I think we'll go ahead and do that and just kind of see how it goes. Hi, Templar.
I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted.
Oh, fine. Probably not a good idea to start off by stealing from him. Just saying. Nothing to steal.
We stand here in this hour.
Greetings, young lady. You are Duncan's newest recruit, are you not? He's not a man easily impressed. You should be proud. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Wynne, one of the mages summoned by the king.
I'm Eurydice.
Well met, and good luck to you on the battlefield. To us all, in fact.
I generally like to introduce myself to her now. That way when we run into her later, she remembers us. Let's see. It's not luck, but skill that will save us.
And I'm sure you have plenty of that to offer. To defeat the Darkspawn, we have to work together. It's not an idea everyone seems able to grasp.
You've faced Darkspawn before?
Stragglers, yes. Not the vast horde the scouts speak of. I wonder, how much do you know of the connection between Darkspawn and the Fade?
No, the Fade's where you go when you dream.
Anytime your spirit leaves your earthly body, whether it's to dream or to die, it passes into the realm we call the Fade. It's home to many spirits, some benevolent, others far less so. At the heart of the Fade lies the Black City.
What's the Black City? Not that I don't know, but...
Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says.
Uh-huh. The chantry says a lot.
It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now.
I'll just kill every Darkspawn I see.
A wise attitude. It's worked well for me in the past. But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
Death is no failure, my friends. Should it find you, you will not have failed your king. You will have served your maker.
And I'm off.
Die in this battle, and when you stand before the Maker in the land beyond the cave, he shall not find you wanting. Go not into death gladly.
As I follow this guy in an attempt to try to steal from him. Come on! Of course, now it doesn't want to do it. Nothing to steal. See if we can find someone else to try to steal from. Nothing to steal.
Maker above, hear the prayers of your sons and daughters. We who betrayed your
Haha.
prophet Andraste now beg your forgiveness. Do not abandon us in our darkest hour. Watch over the valiant King Kaelin and guide him as he faces this terrible evil. Watch over Terran Loghain and give him the wisdom to bring us victory against the Scourge of Shadow. Watch over Ferelden, the homeland of Holy Andraste. Keep her people safe from the Darkspawn. Let us bow our heads and offer prayers to the Maker, that he might find us worthy.
Who knows? I maybe have a lot of cunning, so I may actually be pretty good at stealing.
Going.
Okay, well, let's go get Alistair. Yeah, let's talk to this guy first.
Welcome, young woman.
Who are you?
I am one of the Tranquil, my friend. I am of the Circle of Magi. But instead of casting spells and reading tomes, I spend my time enchanting. It is a time-consuming process, but invaluable. Enchantment provides the Circle its wealth. Certainly we would not get by on charity.
What is enchantment exactly?
It is the practice of folding magical lyrium into items first practiced by the dwarves. The Tranquil have learned their runes, and we use them to apply a variety of magical effects. We create the glow lights, as well as the magic staff, or the flaming blade. The irony, perhaps, is that it is our very disconnection to our former talents that allows the Tranquil to work with lyrium so. A true mage could not.
What sort of enchantments are there?
Runes exist that hold the power of the elements that increase strength or swiftness. Almost any spell can be given permanency, given enough skill and lyrium. Naturally, the greater the power required, the more expensive the rune will become to create. True power comes with a price, as we know only too well.
You speak strangely. Why is that?
Allow me to put it this way. Do you know why those with magical talent are feared?
No?
Those with magical talent attract demons and spirits. We can be possessed easily and thus become horrors known as abominations. Even those with minor talents attract hungry spirits. Anyone with the power may learn blood magic from these demons. Hence, we are considered dangerous. This is our curse. Thus, I was made tranquil, stripped of emotions and talent. I am no longer dangerous.
How is someone made tranquil?
Our forehead is branded with magic, which stills our talent and mind. The process is irreversible as far as I am aware.
Or is it? Sounds like a horrid practice.
It might seem such to you, but I feel no horror. I am content to serve in my role.
I feel bad for you.
You do? I feel nothing. As the name suggests, my existence is quite peaceful. I am alive, productive, and no danger to anyone. Surely that is not a terrible thing. Perhaps we may speak of something else. Do you need assistance?
I'm gonna go.
Goodbye.
Okay, so this chest here by him, that's gonna kind of come into play later. So let's go get Alistair. Okay. Well, let's go steal a little more first. Because, haha, it's fun. I also have a mod that reduces these stealing cooldown speed to like a second and a half instead of like 10 seconds because I don't have the patience for that.
What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle?
I simply
Ooh.
came to deliver
at
a message
Alistair.
from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together.
I am using a mod for Alistair's appearance. It basically gives him Duncan's hair without the earring. I think he looks good, and I've got a mod for his armor too. I know exactly what you mean.
It's like a party. We could all stand in a circle and hold hands. That would give the Darkspawn something to think about. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage?
No. We haven't met. It must be Alistair.
And that makes you Duncan's new recruit, I suppose. Glad to meet you. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Eurydice.
Right, that was the name. You know, it just occurred to me that there have never been many women in the Grey Wardens. I wonder why that is.
You want more women in the Wardens, do you?
Would that be so terrible? Not that I'm some drooling lecher or anything. Please stop looking at me like that. So I'm curious. Have you ever actually encountered Darkspawn before?
No.
When I fought my first one, I wasn't prepared for how monstrous it was. I can't say I'm looking forward to encountering another. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started.
That argument I saw, what was it about?
With the mage. The Circle is here at the King's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are, which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar.
That would be awkward.
I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger, and the mage picked right up on that. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech.
You don't have to accompany me, do you?
Don't worry, I'll try not to embarrass you.
What about, let's see, I look forward to traveling with you.
You do? Huh, that's a switch. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on.
Ah, got some approval from him.
Yes?
Let's see.
Don't worry. I'll try not to embarrass you.
Tell me a little about yourself.
As I said, I was trained as a Templar before Duncan recruited me about 6 months ago. The Chantry raised me. And becoming a Templar was a decision made for me a long time ago. Duncan saw I wasn't happy, and figured my training against mages could double for fighting Darkspawn. Now, here I stand, a proud Grey Warden. The Grand Cleric wouldn't have let me go if Duncan never forced the issue. I'll always be grateful to him.
You didn't want to join the Chantry?
It just wasn't for me. I believe in the Maker well enough, but I never wanted to devote my life to the Chantry.
You speak fondly of Duncan.
I spent years in that Chantry, hopelessly resigned to my fate. Duncan was the first person who cared what I wanted. He risked a lot of trouble with the Grand Cleric to help me.
Don't say this one. Kind of makes him upset. I have a few questions for
What's
you.
about?
Let's go with the Grey Wardens.
So I imagine. What would you like to know?
What makes you special?
The Grey Wardens are warriors without equal. Darkspawn threatened to destroy the world 4 times over. Each time, the Grey Wardens led mankind to victory. Nobody knows more about Darkspawn, and nobody's better equipped to deal with them. You'll see. Trust me.
So they're knights? Heroes?
I don't know if I'd go that far. Duncan says the Grey Wardens do whatever is necessary to protect mankind from Darkspawn. That means some pretty extreme things. Whatever it takes to bring victory.
I'm not sure I know anything about them.
Well, let's see. Surely you've heard of Weishaupt Fortress? The great eyrie carved into the White Cliffs far off in the Anderfels? That's where the Grey Wardens once kept their griffins. The griffins died out, however, and our numbers have dwindled since the last Blight. There's only a handful left in Ferelden. A few more in other nations.
Where are they now?
The others are camped with the King's soldiers in the valley. The King's given us a position of honor at the vanguard, despite our small numbers. I think Cailan is actually excited to ride into battle with us. Maybe he thinks that's what his father would have done.
So they can recruit anyone?
King Marek, Cailan's father, reaffirmed the power the Grey Wardens were given during the Blights. In practice, we can't conscript too often without hurting our cause. We were exiled from Ferelden once. Best not to let that happen again. You want to ask me about something else?
The Blight.
Of course.
So where do they come from?
You want the Chantry's version or the truth?
Let's go with the truth.
The truth is, we don't really know. They come up from the ground, and that's as far as we've gotten.
So what you talked about was the first Blight.
Yes, and it nearly wiped us out. When defeated, the Darkspawn flee back underground and seek out another old god to taint, thus bringing another Blight.
So where is the Archdemon?
We haven't seen it yet. People are beginning to think this is just an unusually large Darkspawn raid without an Archdemon to unify them. But seriously, the Archdemon could be in the wilds or underground. It could be hiding. Just because it hasn't shown itself doesn't mean it isn't out there.
Why not kill the Darkspawn when they're underground?
They've controlled the deep roads ever since they defeated the Dwarven kingdoms. Even if we invaded, we can only chase them so far.
What is an Archdemon exactly?
The old gods were dragons. So the stories say. Big ones. Intelligent, even. The Tevinter Empire had big statues of them. Each dragon had a name and a place in the cosmos. It's all very intricate. The Archdemons may not be the old gods, but they're definitely dragons.
Why are some people so skeptical?
The Grey Wardens killed so many Darkspawn by the end of the last Blight. People decided they were gone for good.
Other questions.
Of course.
So how do they defeat Blights?
We chop off the snake's head. It's the only way. According to texts, the most famous Grey Warden leader, Garahel, killed the Archdemon Underarl in personal combat at the Battle of Aesley to end the last Blight. Without the Archdemon to command them, the Darkspawn flee back underground.
How did anyone even know about it?
The Grey Wardens keep watch. We feel the Darkspawn when they come. You'll understand after the joining, if you well, you'll understand. Not to mention people start to notice when Darkspawn pour out of the wilds and taint everything around them. Just a guess.
How many Darkspawn are out there?
Thousands. Tens of thousands. They've had centuries to build up their numbers. You want to ask me about something else?
Duncan.
Duncan is the leader of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden. Which he would say doesn't mean much, as there aren't many of us here. Yet, beyond that, he's a good man. A good judge of character. I owe him a lot. What about you? What do you think of him?
Kind man. Bit firm.
Fair enough. He's done the best he can with what little he has. And that includes me, I guess. You want to ask me about something else?
The joining ritual.
There's not a lot I can tell you. We go and collect Darkspawn blood, and then you'll hear everything.
I have a mod that restores this, because this is not usually an option that you have to actually persuade him to tell you something, but I should have enough persuasion to get him to offer up some dialogue.
Look, I can't tell you much, alright? The joining is very unpleasant. I wish I could forget it, but I can't. I don't envy what you're going to have to go through.
Nice.
You learn why it's a secret. The joining is the price we pay, all of us, for being able to defeat the Darkspawn. You can't refuse.
Ah. Yeah, I'll be fine, I guess.
That's the spirit. If becoming a Grey Warden were easy, we wouldn't recruit the best. You want to ask me about something else?
The battle.
The one tomorrow. I'll tell you. It's Tairn Loghain we should be looking to win it, not the king.
Yeah.
Kaelin just wants his place in history. The Tairn is planning the strategy. That's my opinion, anyway. I guess I should be thankful the king favors us Grey Wardens. But I know who's keeping the lid on the pot.
How much will I be participating?
You know, that's a good question. The other Grey Wardens are riding into battle with the king. I don't know if you'll be with them.
Why is it happening here?
We're at the edge of the Korcari Wilds, the eye of the Blight Storm, right where the Horde will be coming. Ostagar itself is an excellent defensive position. The Wilders were pushed back from here time and again in ancient days.
What are the chances of success?
I'm sure Tairn Loghain has the battle planned to the last detail. Still, no Blight has ever been defeated with so little cost.
And if we fail?
If we don't break the Horde here, Duncan says it will spread until it engulfs all of Ferelden. Then it will take an alliance of nations to fight it, which would be bad.
Yes.
Neither the king nor the Tairn really seems to believe this is a real blight, however.
That's all I want to know.
You want to ask me about something else?
Nope, think we covered everything.
Then let's get a move on, shall we?
Got some more brownie points there from Alistair.
Yes.
This is a poor group. I could try robbing the Tranquil, see what happens. They're all so broke.
So, any last wishes I can help fulfill before you head into battle? Life is fleeting, you know. That pretty face could be decorating some Darkspawn spear this time tomorrow. Shall I take that quiet glare as a no? Oh, well, too bad. Well, you're not what I thought you'd be.
What'd you think I'd be?
Not a woman, yet here you are. The name's Daveth. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they cooked this ritual up just for our benefit.
Maybe they did.
Just to give us a good scare? No, they don't really seem the type. I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds.
The wilds?
We're right on the northern edge of the Korcari Wilds here, miles and miles of savage country. My home village isn't far, and I grew up on tales about the wilds. Even been in there a few times. Scary place.
Why would they send us into the forest?
Sounds like some kind of test. Maybe we'll hunt us a souvenir or two. It's all too secretive for me. Makes my nose twitch. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we have a choice.
I'll watch your back if you watch mine.
Oh, I'll watch your back.
Just don't get too distracted back there.
I'll try to keep my wits about me. Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
Okay, let's see here.
Going.
Sell some stuff.
Have you seen an elf running about? Young woman, red hair, carrying a suit of chain.
No?
Blast it. Where did she go? That suit better be patched up when she gets back, or by the maker up. Oh, pardon my manners. My troubles are no concern of yours, I'm sure. I'm the quartermaster. Did you come for supplies?
Do you need help finding her?
Oh, I'm sure you have better things to do than run errands for me. I can find her myself.
What kind of supplies do you have?
Arms and armor, for the most part. It's for the King's men, but you Grey Wardens can buy what you need for a modest price. I also have some, goods on the side I can provide. Strictly off the record, of course. To keep morale up, you understand.
Yes. Let's start with your regular goods.
Let me know what you'd like.
Ah, yes. Universal die kit. It's a mod that lets you change the tinting and stuff on armor, and it's always good to pick it up. You will need toxin extract for a quest in Denerim. I believe you need 15 of them, so they're not very expensive. I usually just buy them now, and then if you buy them again when you come back from the wilds, it's like getting double, which is always a good idea. Now we're going to look at his other
Hello
goods.
again. Is there something you need? Some supplies, perhaps? So long as you keep it quiet.
It's more like better stuff. Let's see if I can rob the quartermaster.
All right.
Haha! I'm trying to get someone to actually catch me.
Soldiers of Ferelden, my
try these
sisters and
Templars.
gentlefolk, we stand here on the eve of battle.
Probably not the smartest thing, but hey.
They tainted it with their sin, and they were
Well,
cast
if it
back
kicks up
into
at
our
this
world.
rate, you may not
They
get
are
to
man's
see
sins made flesh, an evil that
us
spreads
get
like an illness across our land.
talked to
To
by
face it,
Duncan
we must first face the evil
for
within ourselves. Let us bow our
being naughty and stealing. But, hello.
Yes.
Greetings. King Cousland is not in his tent right now.
Okay, and this guy is clipping through me, and that is weird. Where is he?
I believe he's with the Grey Wardens in camp, drinking. He holds them in high regard, you know, as his father did.
Tell me about him. You must see him a lot.
I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Teyrn Loghain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off. The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible?
I very seriously doubt it.
That's how the Teyrn feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny that Teyrn called him reckless, and they fought about the queen.
Do they fight often?
More than usual lately. Good thing the Teyrn's the only one who can speak to the king like that.
I'm gonna go.
As you wish.
Okay.
You approach the tent of Teyrn Loghain. State your business.
Tell me about him.
How can you not know of Loghain? He helped free Ferelden. He was the brains behind King Maric's armies and drove out those damned Orlesians. King Maric rewarded him by making him a Teyrn. Can you imagine? A commoner became a high nobleman just like that. Without Loghain, you can bet the king wouldn't be winning against these Darkspawn.
Is he inside? What's he doing?
He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activity.
Surely you can tell me a little.
I suppose, as long as we talk quietly. He and the king have been arguing for days. The Teyrn's known the king since he was swaddled, so they don't stand on ceremony. The Teyrn speaks his mind, and the king yells right back. Personally, I think the king should do what Teyrn Loghain tells him. Without the Teyrn, we wouldn't be doing as well here as we are.
I'd like an audience with him.
I suppose you have a message for him. Hold on, then.
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume.
That would be me.
You impressed His Majesty nonetheless. He could not contain his excitement over your meeting. Kaelin's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Marek respected the Grey Wardens. They have an honored place in the hearts of our people. But Marek would have understood that it takes more than legends to win a battle. That's not an argument I'll repeat here. You look familiar. Have I seen you at the Landsmeet?
My father was the Terran of Highever.
The king told me of his promise. I'm certain he has every intention of following it through.
Yeah.
I suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you?
It's funny, I believe it's, it might just be City Elf, but he'll actually call you pretty if you're a female City Elf. I hope so.
Here for the glory, huh? Fair enough. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sort.
And if he doesn't?
Then simply pray.
Not the least bit ominous.
Look carefully, man. This wretched thing is a darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart. But don't listen to those old wives' tales. They can be killed. Stick them with your sword enough.
Apparently I cannot rob any
Their
of
blood
them.
is black as sin and poisonous.
Going.
Don't even touch it. You get tainted with that blood, and you may as well slit your throat. We've lost many dogs already. Had to muzzle them to keep them from biting. It's a long and painful way to die.
Going.
Yeah, it's maybe him. Oh man, I successfully stole from him too. Well, basically, since it's not looking like we're actually going to get to see it, a soldier will come over to Duncan and accuse you of trying to steal, and Duncan will defend you and go, "That's a Grey Warden you're speaking of. Don't you dare accuse them of such things." And then he'll be like, "So you're stealing, huh?" I'll be like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "You shouldn't be doing that. You need to be more careful." And then you go, basically, "Oh, it's the only way I can improve my skills is if I practice." And then he'll go, "Yes, but try to be more careful," because Duncan was a rogue himself back in the day, so he's fine with you stealing. He just doesn't want you to
This is supposed
get
to be
caught.
the battle that sends these darkspawn back underground. You believe that?
I don't know what to believe. We've won every battle, but there's more of them each time.
All right.
Try to steal from her.
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked, and do not falter.
The last gathering party made it down.
There are lots of darkspawn, different kinds. Getting reports of things we've never even heard of. Our short friend here, for instance.
Okay, so now we'll go over to this side of the camp. Okay.
You there, elf. What's your name?
It's Pick, sir.
Go tell Tern Logain that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Okay. You basically need to talk to this guy because there's a chance to get a free sword out of it, but he's really hard to catch. He'll just run away, so it's always kind of good to pause right when you get the chance and set it to talk to him.
Hello? I'm sorry, is there something you needed?
Oh, what do you mean?
I deliver messages around the camp. You have a message for me?
And then you basically say, lie, yes I do.
Then what is... Oh, wait. Are you the one I'm supposed to give Sir Garland's sword to? Because I think the smith's done with it.
But you basically need to have at least one level in persuasion to be able to do this, otherwise he won't give you the sword.
Oh, that's such a relief. You really saved me from the switch for sure. I'd best get back to my duties again before I get in more trouble.
Thank you! And he gives you Sir Garland's sword. which is somewhere on the field. There's a bewildered knight fighting with his dinner fork. Pity him. But it's 2 attack, 10 physical resistance, so it's actually a pretty decent sword to start with. So as soon as I outfit Alistair, we will see what's going to work better for him.
What do you need? You haven't brought more instructions from the Tern, I hope.
More instructions?
Tern Logan has changed our scouting route a dozen times. If you're not from the Tern, what do you want? We're busy.
If you do this carefully, you can get him to tell you a story and it gives you an extra codex, so you just kind of have to...
We aren't. We're Ash Warriors. Our training has been passed down since Lathias the Dwarfson first harnessed the battle rage of the dwarves. It is an old tale.
And then you ask him if you can hear the old tale.
I am no bard, but I will do my best. Lathias was a claimed tribesman. Some said he was too short to be a warrior, but he was strong and fierce. His chieftain sent him to the dwarves of Orzammar to negotiate an alliance, where he fell in love with the king's daughter, Skya, and brought her back to his tribe. She taught Lathias to use the dwarven battle wrath to summon his strength and ignore all pain. Lathias then taught this to the Clane, who made him their chieftain.
What happened to him?
Lathias' prowess earned him the love of Morrigannon, a beautiful chieftain of another tribe. When Skya learned of his seduction, she returned to her people.
Can't blame her.
Lathias was grieved. He sent Morrigannon away, but this only vexed her, and began a long war between their tribes. In the end, Lathias slew Morrigannon in single combat. However, his wounds were great, and he perished when the rage ended. The dwarves came from Orzammar that day, and gave Lathias an honored burial in the mountains. And we live by his teachings even today.
So what happened to his wife?
It is said that before the final battle, she returned to Lathias and gave him a shirt of dwarven chain, along with a final night of passion. Then she was gone forever. If she lived on in Orzammar, only the dwarven folk could say for certain.
And then you can just say thank you.
It was an honor.
What's an Ash Warrior?
We harness the rage inside us, nurture it, and draw it out so we cannot fall in battle until our last foe is slain. It is a dwarven discipline, but we've adapted it to let us fight alongside our hounds. That is our way. I trust my hound with my life, as he trusts me with his.
So it sounds like a modified berserker sort of specialization. I have a Mabari hound.
Then you are most fortunate. A trained Mabari hound is as dangerous as any sword. We do not speak of a city pet, or those things that sit in an old woman's lap.
What are you preparing for?
To scout the wilds and watch the progression of the Darkspawn horde. With luck, we'll find and slaughter many stragglers. The hunt will be good if my hound survives the blood of his prey. If he dies, I shall mourn tonight.
Survives the blood? What do you mean?
Darkspawn blood is poisonous, and not always fatal. Those who survive grow immune to its effects. The wardens say that tainted blood drives even the survivors mad eventually. But not today. Today, we hunt and we kill.
Wouldn't it be smarter to leave them behind?
They fight at our side. We don't fret over their safety as if they were children.
Why have you painted your dogs?
They use scent to distinguish us from our enemies. But the blood of battle can confuse them. So we paint ourselves with Caddis, which overpowers the blood, and also paint our hounds so they know we are the same.
What if the enemy is painted with Caddis as well?
Why? Would you steal our Caddis and give it to the Darkspawn hordes?
No.
Good. I hear death is unpleasant.
I should be going.
My thanks. There is hunting to be done, and I'll not be kept from it.
So it's a good chance to get another codex. Let's see. We'll try and steal from this guy. Someone's got to catch me.
Huh.
Okay, let's see.
going.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get caught. Okay, so let's go talk to the Kennel Master. Might as well try and steal from him too. You can't
Excuse
really...
me, I must get the hounds ready for battle. Half the dogs are sick from darkspawn blood. It's terrible.
Anyway, human nobles can't really talk to him at this point because we already have a dog, so we're not trying to save the dog, but we can still get him the flower and give it to him after, and he'll give us a reward. And he's walking through the gate. Okay. Alright, so we'll still make sure to get him the flowers. So let's go ahead and go up here.
Huh. All right.
You need to convince them. We've got to run. The Darkspawn are coming.
There are Grey Wardens here.
The Grey Wardens will die. The King will die. We'll all die.
I apologize, Warden. He's been like this ever since they found him in the wilds.
What's wrong with him?
Aside from his wounds, we're not sure. His blood is untainted. He's just terrified.
You can feel it, can't you? They taint the land, turn it black and sick. Oh, you can feel it inside. They'll come out of that forest and spread. Like caterpillars covering a tree. They'll swallow us whole.
That's quite enough out of you. You need to calm yourself, my good man.
They were everywhere. I saw them.
In the name of
not
Andraste,
wrong.
I bless you today. May you find favor in the Maker's eyes.
Okay.
So let it be.
Let's see. There's usually a codex right here, but it tends to be for like dwarven origins and Dalish people who didn't like learn about the Chantry already in their origin. So, ha 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 ha.
Ah, I suspect you are one of the new Grey Wardens. Will you accept the Maker's blessing?
Sure, why not?
Then I bless you, Grey Warden, in the name of Andraste and the Maker above. May the chant of light carry your name to the ears of our Lord.
Thanks. Hello.
Greetings. You must be the third recruit we've heard about.
That would be me.
Sir Jury is my name. I hail from Redcliffe, where I served as knight under the command of Arl Eamon. I was not aware they permitted women to join the Grey Wardens. None of those I've seen thus far have been.
Perhaps they saved the best for last?
You obviously impressed Duncan, and that's enough for me. I hope we're both lucky enough to eventually join the Wardens. Is it not thrilling to be given that chance?
Yeah, sure. I'm curious about the joining ritual.
As am I. Has anyone told you about it?
Davos said we might be going into the wilds.
I never heard of such a ritual. I had no idea there were more tests after getting recruited. I suppose since you're finally here, I'd best get back to Duncan. I shall see you there.
Okay. So, now we're gonna go over and talk to that guy. Well, I'm going to open his chest first. Okay. Now you can get some approval points from Alistair if you do this right.
Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me?
You haven't been sentenced?
No. They put someone like me in a cage until someone important has time to decide what to do with me. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you? All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving.
Why would I want to help you?
Because you might want something I don't need. Them circle wizards got a chest they keep things in. Magical things. And I stole the key. That's why I'm here. I got one of them drunk, took his key and tried to sneak to the chest. They assumed I was deserting. I can't use it from here. But I'd trade you for some food and water.
You didn't find it when you were arrested?
I swallowed it. But it's, come back into my possession since then, so to speak.
Ew. That's gross.
And an excellent party trick, I'll bet.
Yeah, well... Do you want the key or not?
Alright.
Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example.
Who is he?
They say he was recruited before the war up in Dinnerham. Probably figured he'd never have to fight if he served the king, right?
Why did he want to desert?
Why does anyone want to desert? Because he thinks he's going to die and he's a bloody coward, that's why. Either that or he's been listening to a bunch of hogwash about how the Darkspawn will drag you off and eat you.
Seems a waste for you to guard him all day.
I can't just let him go, can I? The army will figure out what to do with him. Probably just waiting for someone important to make a decision. Then they'll hang him, I expect. And I can go and do something else.
I had a chat with him.
Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation.
He wants some food and water.
Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine.
So you'll miss one meal. He could be hanged soon.
All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
See, having persuasion allows you to get the food without having to buy it, which is nice. I could have talked to them more about why he was deserting and stuff, but I kind of took a little shortcut.
So? Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away.
Here. Well, let's talk to him now. Why are you in there?
I'm a deserter. Or so they think. I bet there's no arguing them out of it, though. Armies are funny that way.
I bet you're as innocent as the sunrise.
I wasn't deserting. But when you catch someone sneaking around camp in the middle of the night, what else are you gonna think? Does it matter? All I want is a bit of food and water.
It was just a curious thing.
Oh, I would have deserted eventually. Just not then. I was stealing, not sneaking out of the camp. I got one of those wizards drunk and took his key. It belongs to a chest they got here, full of magical treasures. In fact, I still have it.
Yes, I know.
I can't use it from here, but I'd trade you for some food and water. Much obliged. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you. And, as I mentioned, here's the key. Use it in good health, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. Considering where that came from, let's hope we're not the only ones in good health.
And see, we got a little approval from Alistair, so... Okay. We've been everywhere, but see, that's the chest that it's for, the key, but we can't use it until after we come back from the wilds, so... I'm probably gonna go sell some more stuff to the quartermaster, because I've been stealing a
Hello
lot.
again. Is there something you need? Some supplies, perhaps? So long as you keep it quiet.
Okay.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Korcari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood, 1 for each recruit.
What do we need that for?
For the joining itself. I'll explain more once you've returned.
Some action.
Without a doubt. Darkspawn aren't renowned for their willingness to offer up their blood. There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can.
What kind of scrolls are they?
Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with.
What if they're no longer there?
It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true.
Is this part of the joining?
No, but the effort must be made. I have every confidence you are up to the task.
How will we find it?
It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search.
Okay, find the archive in the blood.
Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.
Okay. So, before we go, I'm going to fix everyone's tactics and check their inventory and all that good stuff. Alistair, I've set him on aggressive and defender. The initial tactics are usually okay. You'll have to tweak them as the game goes along, but initially they're not bad. Davith is an archer. And Jory is a scrapper. There we go. So that's everybody's tactics. Alistair, I need to give you some better stuff. Forgot I had given him this. This is a mod that gives him his own Warden's Oath, and it kind of makes it a little better, so it's a little more viable for the entire game. They're pretty well set up.
Huh. Hail. I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
Okay, so now we're in the wilds. And I have the extra dog slot, so we have the puppy with us. I'm going to go ahead and talk to Davith and Jory, because they have some pretty interesting information, so...
Yes?
Where are you from?
I grew up in a village about a day's trip to the east. Little blot you wouldn't even find on a map. Haven't been back in years. I struck out for the city as soon as I could outrun my pa. I've been in Denerim for what, 6 years now? Never liked it much, but there's more purses there than anywhere else.
So you're a cut purse?
And a pickpocket, thank you very much. Or was, anyhow. Who'd ever guess I'd end up a Grey Warden?
How'd they find you?
I found them. I cut Duncan's purse while he was standing in a crowd. He grabs my wrist, but I squirm out and bolt. The old bugger can run, but the garrison caught me first. I'm a wanted man in Denerim, you see, so they were going to string me up right there.
What happened?
Duncan stopped them, invoked the right of conscription. I gave the garrison the finger while I was walking away. Don't know why Duncan wants someone like me, but he says finesse is important and that I'm fast with a blade. You bet your boots I am. Besides, it beats getting strung up.
What do you think of him?
All right for an old bugger. He's faster than he looks, too. Hey, I'm following you, aren't I?
I'm ready.
You said you're from Redcliffe?
I hail from Redcliffe, but Duncan recruited me in Highover, a city off the northern coast. Have you traveled there?
Once or twice. My father was the Lord.
My Lady Cousland. I'm honored. I was in Arlayman's retinue when he attended King Marek's funeral. It was in Highever that I met my Helena. I was smitten. She has the most beautiful eyes, my Helena. Now, for years, I found any excuse to return there. We married a year ago. Arlayman gave me leave to serve in Highever, but I was attempting to persuade Helena to come to Redcliffe with me, at least until I was recruited.
So you left?
Never. I will return to her once my duty is done and the Blight defeated.
Yeah.
Last month, Duncan visited Highever, and the Ban held a tournament in his honor. I won the Grand Melee. It was hard to leave my wife. We married only a year ago, and she is heavy with child now. But Ferelden needs my blade, and I shall not falter.
What do you think of Duncan?
He has a seemingly impossible task, with a scarce handful of Grey Wardens, yet he does not complain or flinch from his duty.
Let's go.
Indeed.
Let's get what we came for, and head back to Duncan.
Okay. Just in case. Don't think I'm gonna have the dog here, so I'm going to use the whistle and send him back to camp. There he goes. Sometimes when dog's not supposed to be there, it can mess things up, so sometimes it's just best not to have him. Alright, so we are now in the Kokari Wilds, and I think this is a good place to end the episode. So next time we will go through the Kokari Wilds and kill some Darkspawn and do all the cool little quests that are here. Thanks, guys!